And we are back with yet another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm the host. And yeah, um, I don't know if you noticed, but it's not Monday. And I hope you're okay with that. I'm okay with that. I had to come to terms with that earlier in the week. Like, this shit ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna be able to get this shit done the day that I wanted to get it done. But then I had to remember, damn, this is my shit. I can do this shit whenever the fuck I need to do this. And so we here now. And I hope it's okay. Please forgive me, man. Shout out to the Rand Gang. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club. I'm glad you took time out your busy schedule to check in on an individual such as myself. And I'm gonna make this very interesting for y'all today. I got a nice show for y'all today. It's lined up almost. It's not perfect, but it's as close as I can. Today's the title of today's show is Palm Beach Pete. Yeah, if you know, you know, because I've already did an episode about Epstein being alive, and there was apparently an individual that looked eerily similar to Epstein driving in Miami or in Florida, top down all the shit. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna save that for a little bit later. We got some other things going on that need to be addressed. And we're gonna get all of that in today's segment I like to call Is That Right? Now on today's segment of Is That Right, brought to you by Kicks, the luxury shoe brand brought to you by yours truly. I'll leave a link in the description box. You can check those out. Tell me what you think. Um, I got some good reviews on last episode. So if y'all missed out on that, I was supposed to clip it up, wasn't able to get it done. New job title, very demanding. As of right now, we're working on some things to kind of automate some things to keep it a little bit smoother. But as of right now, it's really rough. And I mean, I'm talking 12, 13-hour days. So I was probably supposed to pull an episode out of my ass earlier this week, but I didn't find it. It wasn't there. So I'm here again. But pivoting is something that I think that a lot of people need to kind of look into. Because a lot of people are overstaying the level where you are because it's easy, because it's comfortable, and you're losing out on a ton of other experiences that would make all of your stories a little saucier because niggas is probably tired of hearing your stories, the old glory day stories. And I've talked about that in years previous. But yeah, got to get those pivots together, got to get that transition, transmissioning. You understand what I'm saying? Because uh, maybe you need some fluid. Maybe you just need some enthusiasm. Really, what it is you need some new habits. Because if you look at a person's habits, that's where you're going to find the level of success that they're going to have. It's in your habits, but habits after a while become mannerisms and it become parts of your personality now. All because you are too logged into what has been working in the past and not effectively figuring out which habits need to change, what ones need to go, and how do I do it, how I implement it. And it really just takes you getting started. All you got to do is get started. But a motherfucker, like, you just don't want to admit it or change it because this has been working for however long it's been working 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 2 years. And now you got this thing lingering around. A lot of you niggas do it when you used to play sports, but you don't play sports no more, and you still are consuming calories like you're about to go do football practice 2 a days and shit, and you're not doing that. Other people might do it when you are used to being in a relationship, and now you're in the streets again, and you haven't transitioned to in the street mode. Now you sucking everybody's dick how you was when you was married, or at least wanted to, and everybody's dick is not for your mouth, man. And you know, so on and so forth. You understand what I'm saying? You just you're still you're in the streets. Your mindset is in the streets. You didn't got married now. It's time to, you know, that's the ass you're gonna be with for the rest of your life, man. You know, that learn to love that shit and keep your eyes on your own paper. You know what I'm saying? But you know, whatever. Just keep your dick in your pants. Look, we, I'm not gonna get too far off into that right now. I got a lot of shit to do. Fresh cut, thank you. If you noticed, I appreciate that. And I gotta get my mans together. You know, I gotta get my son together. So yesterday again was boy, I'm not complaining. I just need to, you know, remember that things are great. There is a bump in pay. But you now have to spread your feet, you know, a little bit wider, pause, but you know, in order to accommodate the amount of weight that you now have to carry. You understand what I'm saying? You can't carry more weight with your feet the same width apart that you would. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to brace yourself and know that it's better for you now. You can handle this. You can handle this amount of weight, whatever. But you know, things aren't what they used to be anymore. So let's get the lead out. But on a lighter note, well, maybe not lighter note. Look, the first thing on the agenda is fucking spring break. Now, if when you was a kid, spring break, oh yeah, spring break. You know, now they got cities that are crying because they can't handle the weight or of the amount of or the crowd size that has decided to visit the city for a spring break. You understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna look at a few of those. One city they didn't even have no spring break. Just too much shit going on, you know. But let's get to it. Share the screen. We're gonna get started today, man. Should have loaded it backwards. First city we'll start with is Houston. Shout out to all my, you know, all the beach goers. One second. Share my volumes is volume. Mhm.
Well, in case you missed it, Houston is now a spring break destination. Who knew? But it's bringing crowds and big business to H-Town. But social media is also revealing another side, an unfortunate side effect, chaotic street takeovers.
So crowds like you're about to see them right here, they've been popping up all over the city, also forcing businesses to close early. Our Joy Addison went over to Edo to discover how those disruptions raise concerns for future events.
He just say, that security guard, that nigga does not look like he ready for anything for
right
real.
now. But can you imagine hundreds of spring breakers blocking entrances, fighting and threatening businesses? Well, that's what happened Saturday night, and business owners say they're suffering the fallout of spring break in Houston.
And she was out there turning up with their ass. That's what we don't know.
This video, too graphic to show in its entirety, shows spring breakers dancing in the street, purposely flashing passing drivers. Those activities spilled into nearby parking lots, causing mayhem.
It was quite a mob outside.
Bar owner Neil Fernandez says his East Downtown business was surrounded by people who were not even customers.
Just dozens in some cases.
Boy, Neil, yo ass, white as fuck, boy. Fernandez, who was the Fernandez? Brad looked like his daddy was white. He's so fucking pale. Wow. I just
Cases 100 or more, just kids.
first name is hella that boy daddy. I might be wrong about that, but Neil, who the fuck? Neil and Fernandez together sounds like a fucking oxymoron.
Kids just in the parking lot.
He shares a parking lot with the Exxon Mobil gas station on the corner of McKinney and Sampson, one of several lots taken over by hundreds of spring breakers. Several fights broke out, forcing nearby businesses and even this gas station to shut down early.
We do like 65-70% of our revenue after 10 p.m. We're a very late night business. Most of that's done after midnight, and our biggest night is Saturday night. And we cut that 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. time straight in half. So probably lost a couple $1,000s in revenue alone just from that.
For residents, the chaos hit close to home. Mandy Koger says some visitors brought the party into neighborhoods, damaging property and ignoring rules. She had to stop several parties at her Airbnb.
There was one time we looked in the backyard because we kept seeing these notifications, and there's like 20 people outside, and I'm like, wait, what?
City leaders say the behavior is unacceptable and are exploring ways to hold the club owners and promoters responsible for drawing
Boy, ain't got nothing for nobody. Boy, he is just
crowds that quickly got out of control.
The club owners should not tolerate this kind of behavior. And when they do facilitate an environment like this, it's unfair to the residents of Houston.
Now, business owners and residents here are urging the city to work with law enforcement to enforce some type of crowd control ahead of more events coming to this.
Look, it's your job as a business to know what is going on in the neighborhood and what's going to happen. And if you did not think ahead to have a more prominent police presence in your area, it's because you haven't really been paying attention to what the fuck's going on. People are pulling up to these gas stations like they're the motherfucking after hour spot, bro. That's where people are meeting up to do, the shenanigans until they figure out what's the next step. And you just got to have some forethought, If you got a relationship with the boys, they probably going to pull up for you. And if not, then, whatever. But it was pandemonium. And that was just one thing in Houston. Now, we got some shit out in Daytona Beach that happened. And they are acting like they are in a state of an emergency because of the amount of people that was out there, bro. I was like, really? Can you imagine getting calls from the governor of a city because he can't handle the kids out there? Like, bro, your ass weak as hell. Let me see. Yeah, man, this is in Florida, but it's a lot of shit be going on in Florida. Florida is like, they be talking about Florida, man. Florida, like, it's always some chaotic bullshit going on in Florida. And let me see what the fuck going on, man.
The city of Daytona Beach is declaring a state of emergency starting tomorrow. This comes after chaos erupted during the start of spring break last weekend. With more unsanctioned events expected this weekend, city
trying to start the video back up. I'm trying to find the spot. There you go.
The officials are working to keep the beaches safe. West 2's Pamela Combe explains the youth curfew and what locals have to say in response.
After thousands of people flooded Daytona Beach for an unsanctioned event last weekend, leading to chaos in parts of the city, leaders voted to take action. Some locals are welcoming the city of Daytona Beach's new curfew for anyone under 18.
I think that's pretty awesome. I think we definitely need that. That should actually be in place all the time.
Starting Friday and for the next 7 days, all minors will have to be at home by 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. the following morning. The curfew applies only within the special event zone stretching from University Boulevard to Silver Beach. This curfew won't apply to minors who are with their parents, who are playing in their front yard, or going to and from work. In the meeting, Police Chief Jakari Young says he has more ideas for future years on how to get the crowds under control, from placing an age limit on Airbnbs to requiring mandatory security guards at bars. But he says it's up to the city commission to decide how strict they want to be, giving examples of what other cities are doing during spring break.
So Miami Beach just flat out said, you are not welcome at all. We don't want you here. Everything's shut down. Panama City Beach is looking at managing it, but zero tolerance.
The city's hoping this curfew helps reduce the crowds. All agencies are still preparing, including beach safety, because the massive crowds increase the number of calls that come in.
Inside of those big groups, we'll have smaller units staged so we can respond quickly. We do have an established emergency lane that we try and traverse throughout the day to keep people out of, but with that many people, it's difficult to get through in an expeditious manner.
Covering Volusia County in Daytona Beach, Pamela Combe, West 2.
Yeah, man, you got to be a lot more proactive. And I mean, like I said, shout out to the beach goers. Hopefully everybody would say it don't sound like nobody had no real issue where, people were hurt or anything like that. But it's kind of annoying when you're trying to get shit done. It's just like crazy people around and shit. Unless you are a business owner where those crowds can translate into dollars, you got to figure out the line, I guess, to figure out how to, and this is, I guess, to, the party goers too, but I guess primarily to the business owners aspect. You just got to, figure out how to, ride that line. If they said out Miami Beach, I guess it was not worth it. I don't even want the money. Don't come down here. That's crazy. They ain't turned down all the bread. They don't want none of it. I don't want none of it. I don't want the problem. After we spend all the money on security and this and this and this, and the incidentals and shit, insurance spikes, we break even and ain't no money in it, so we don't even want it. Don't come. We only want the grown and sexy out here. You feel me? Which I get. But that's spring break, and now. This ain't even got nothing to do with spring break. DC is just kind of like, I guess they was just having a hard time with teens out there too. They had like a teen takeover or something. Let's look at that and see what the hell is going on with that. That was kind of an added thing, I ain't gonna lie. Let's see where to go. I got that in there twice, man. That's my bad. I'm looking for certain words, and I didn't see them. Let me know what video I should be sharing with y'all right now. There's so many. I mean, it's so fucking many. Damn.
Back now, it's 6:42. Businesses in DC's Navy Yard are dealing with the fallout after another so-called team takeover takeover. The chaos this weekend ended with robberies, assaults, and a gunshot fired into the air. Police ended up arresting 2 teenagers. 7 News reporter John Gonzalez is joining us live here in Navy Yard. So, John, restaurant owners say all of this has left their customers and their staff worried about their safety.
And, you know, Adam, this isn't the first time or the second time, not even the third time this has happened here in the Navy Yard in recent months. And with opening day for the Washington Nationals just a little over 2 weeks away, this is the time of year when many of these restaurants and bars and shops are really banking on big crowds. Well, many of the owners here say after what happened this past weekend, they are worried about what these incidents mean for business in the coming months. Police say about 200 juveniles flooded the area once again. We've got the video to show you, leading to robberies, assaults, and a gunshot fired. 2 teens were arrested. 2 guns were recovered, but many restaurants had already locked down their doors and sheltered in place inside. Resident industry expert Mike Jones says events like this can really hurt business, especially in a neighborhood depending on weekend dining and nightlife.
It's right after the National Guard, I think, is left up out of there.
These young people know they cannot be arrested. They're not going to be charged, and they know that they can keep doing this. And the problem is they don't recognize the financial and economic damage they're doing to that community. Enough is enough. The city has got to put their feet down and say, one, where are the parents? Why are they not accountable? And what are we doing to stop this?
They can do like they did with the other city that started. I don't know, was that Atlanta? I'm not sure. They just started holding the parents accountable, which is what I would think would be happening anyway. Like your kids out of pocket, you know. I don't think it's altogether cool if they after a certain age, like I don't know, 15, 16 and up, you on your own. Like, you know, from probably the 15, it's like, look, you know, you still haven't really got, you know, and it will probably fall on the parents for the most part, but it depends on the crime too. But 16 and up, like, bro, you now you start, you got to take your own crime, bro. You got to eat your, you know, it ain't quite 18, but you know, if you doing like vandalism and shit like that, like we gonna take you to jail. You going to jail, you know, theft, gun, all that shit, jail. But, you know, what do I know? I mean, because if you know you're going to jail, you ain't finna be doing dumb shit. But if you feel like your parents is gonna take it, would that mean that you're not gonna? I mean, you know, like I don't know. Hopefully, you know, they fear their parents and they respect their parents enough not to drag their parents into shit with their dumbass actions. But it just depends on the household.
Yeah, tens of thousands lost for these businesses. And this weekend, Navy Yard did not have that juvenile curfew in place, a restriction that was active just last weekend. Community leaders are pushing for action. We know that there is an advisory neighborhood commissioner meeting tonight here in this.
Bro, what the fuck you got on your head, bro? That shit look like a smooth ass little toupee, though, to be honest with you. It's still like a little man unit on top of this nigga head, bro. Come on, bro. Stop that shit.
Neighborhood where the focus will be these teen takeovers and what can be done to keep the area safe as warmer weather moves in. We have more information, details on that meeting on our homepage.
Ain't no gray in that shit either. Yeah, that shit too black, man. He look like he about to be like, looking ass. But that's that. Let's see. Get that down. Get that down. Make some space up here so I can see what the fuck going on. Which would probably mean that, you know, a lot of people are trying to figure out how they're gonna get back to the city that they live in now that spring break is pretty much over. But TSA is shut down. I mean, you know, we kind of shut down. You know, they stopped paying TSA. Why would they stop paying TSA? I don't even understand. Like, like the air traffic controllers, the first thing to stop paying. Now, it's some other motherfuckers you cannot pay, which, and that ain't cool either. Everybody should still get paid, bro. But, flights is delayed, all that shit, man. And, you know, good old Elon is like, you know what? I'll pay TSA shit. You know why? Because his ass want to get where he need to go too. I would imagine. But we he could probably write that shit off. It ain't that big of a deal. How much is it? How much do you think you'll need in order to pay the TSA agents? Or to pay, let me see. Brett got it though. He got a check. He got that check. And ye shall wield it as ye suppose. But yeah, let's go. I mean, it would have been who got active, but it's another person that done got bread like that doing anything that's got the activated.
Bracing for long security lines as the partial DHS shutdown drags into another busy travel weekend. Thousands of TSA officers are calling out of work, and it's expected to cost airlines millions of dollars a day, with this one heading in the same direction. Here to talk more about the high price of this shutdown is Taylor Riggs, co-host of the Big Money Show, a great show. Sometimes I get to sit in with you. And Taylor, nobody better to address. So let's talk about the economic impact.
Whoa.
Yeah. So for now,
Hey, let's talk about this brother right here. First of all, he looked like boy, your ears big as a motherfucker, boy. She might got some too with that big ass hair hiding it, but I don't know. I don't know, man. There's so much. You know what? I'm not even gonna go into it, but definitely got this. I don't know, man. Almost like Ross Perot face. Ross Bush. Like Ross Perot and George Bush got a kid together or something, bro. Funny as one.
A whole lot, because as you can see with the line so long, there's still a lot of demand there. Now, the longer this goes on, the more of the economic impact. I'm not thinking about just me being inconvenienced, but what about all the people who are going without paychecks?
She look like a motherfucking troll doll, like in the face.
Still have to pay rent. They have to pay their bills. So I'm worried about their ability to make payments. And then, of course, when people at home start to think about spring break, Easter's in 2 weeks, looking at these long lines, are there going to be people like us who say, okay, you know what, with young kids, maybe I won't travel. I'll cancel my flights. I'll pull back. If you get enough people who do that, then that's a real economic impact of people pulling back and saying, I'm not going to travel. I'm canceling plans altogether.
You know, you raise a good point, because it's not just spring break. With Easter coming, now decisions have to be made, as the Senate doesn't appear to be any closer to breaking this logjam.
You know what's interesting is there's a group of airports, San Francisco International is one of them, who's involved in the SPP. Basically, it's falls under TSA in terms of those private contractors have to have the same standards, but it's sort of a public-private partnership. It's close to privatizing TSA that we haven't had in a while. My call is, let's privatize TSA. This is ridiculous. The fact that all of this can go unfunded and be held up by Democrats who don't want to get on board and fund DHS. So we've done analysis of, you could do that. You could try to privatize. I mean, that's not a short-term solution. That's going to have to be a multi-year debate in Congress to figure that out. But people.
$580 million a day that we are bleeding because we're in the government shutdown. At the same time, we're in like a skirmish. Apparently, it's not a war until boots on the ground. So we're in a skirmish with Iran, and it's this is a big ass number.
People who are signed up for Clear, even PreCheck. I've looked at lines at
San Francisco Airport, they're moving because they've gone with private contractors and not relying solely on the government.
Okay, so you brought up the privatizing. We just, in the last headlines here minutes ago, we learned that Elon Musk is now offering, putting on the table that he will pay the salaries of TSA employees. You can see it here. He says, I would like to offer to pay the salaries of TSA personnel during this funding impasse that is negatively affecting the lives of so many Americans at airports throughout the country. I got to tell you, Taylor, good on you, Elon Musk.
Yes.
If you have the wherewithal and means to do it, because these TSA agents, these
Bro,
men and women
trying to
are
do
real
Elon trying to fuck around and run for public office at some
humans,
point.
and
Is that
a
what
lot
you're
of them
trying to do?
aren't calling out sick or quitting because they're angry. It's because they've got to make ends meet, and they've got to rush out and find a job where they're going to get a paycheck.
We've done so many statistics that right now you have, what, a quarter of households living paycheck to paycheck. Imagine if you're a TSA agent and you have families to feed and you're not getting paid and you're
Right. That's crazy. It's a dude that quit because they had the government shut down again. And I mean, you know, he's probably making less money, but he's not making no money. You know what I'm saying?
not able to put food on the table. You are having to call out to maybe work a second job. I love Elon Musk. He throws things out there. I'm not sure it would really stick. The funding does have to come from the government, but I love that he is pushing calls to get out there. The only other thing I will say is we heard from Delta a few weeks ago. They have said demand is through the roof. They said 8 out of their top 10 booking days have come in March alone, 5 of those being in the first week that the war in Iran started. So that's sort of a separate issue, but Delta is seeing demand across all different cabin types. So for now, it looks like demand is not going anywhere, which means for now, lines might stay long if you're unfortunately that TSA agent.
But just a final point, and that is we were just showing the call out rates at airports across the country in places like Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta Airport, or in Houston down there. 4 out of 10 are calling out. And so how long do flyers really want to be in those crazy lines we've seen?
If you have young kids, you're not willing to wait in line for a couple hours. So if they start calling out, we'll see the real impact on the economy if you start to see big cancellations. But for now, I'm hoping that within the next week or two, we can solve this issue. This is, in my opinion, unacceptable.
That's way past unacceptable, young lady. And you are right. This is unacceptable for them to not pay government employees. First of all, they should probably make TSA private. I don't know if it should be tied to the government any longer, because the government is not handling business. It's very irresponsible. Every 90 days, we have another fucking shutdown because we can't figure out how to spend this money. Okay. I got some other shit for Elon. But yeah, it don't make a lot of sense to keep doing something that clearly isn't working and continuing to do it on and on and on and over and over and over because you're used to having that. And it just, why is TSA on the list of people to not pay when the government gets shut down? The answer I would think would be to privatize the whole thing. That way, these people are still getting paid to do a job that is pertinent to the flow of American society. People need to get back to where they need to be on time in the sky. They don't need to have overworked TSA agents. No, not even TSA agents. I'm thinking about air traffic controllers primarily. But we talked a little bit earlier on the episode about people not being able to pivot. And as an air traffic controller, again, you will probably make I don't know, maybe $150,000 a year. You know what I mean? But to have to walk away from that and go do something else where you might be making not even half that, just so you can try to keep money coming in, is ridiculous. But that's all I got for that. Elon also got some other shit going on because there's some alternative ways of getting around that are being, highlighted right now. And I'm going to highlight them on the show today. And while we're talking about Elon, Tesla has a new vehicle that they are releasing um, for like trying to get around, like for like I don't know what's the name of those like ride share companies, right? Um, and I mean, it's got no steering wheel, no throttle, no trans. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So let's look into that. And leave in the comments if you would be willing to get in one of those, right?
Now at Tesla's potentially, you say it's in production, steering away from steering wheels.
Well, here's the thing. Driverless cars or self-driving cars are becoming ubiquitous on U.S. streets. Goodness knows in
Hold on, bro.
L.A.
Brad looked like what's the nigga that that played on The Fly? Dude, he was on Jurassic Park, The Fly, and he's on that one commercial apartments.com. Look like his broker older brother. Brett be coming to the barbecues. He be mad because he always talk about his brother and how much he do and how much he got. And he like, I'm not coming to that. Fuck him. But yeah,
You're going to see a Waymo any day you go out. But
Waymo.
would you want to be in a car that, well, can't be driven? And I say that because Tesla's new Cybercab, upon which the company is literally betting the company, lacks, I don't know, pedals, a steering wheel, even side mirrors. And that is raising a whole lot of very interesting issues because if the Cybercab runs into trouble, well, it seems like only a tow truck is going to be able to get them moving again. Tesla is already producing the Cybercabs and plans to begin mass production next month. If all goes well, the company hopes to have the Cybercab serving as the heart of a new Tesla ride-sharing or ride-hailing service intended to compete with the likes of Uber and Lyft. It also plans to sell the Cybercab to operators of taxi fleets and to sell it to ordinary citizens who want a car that drives itself. Just one small teensy-weensy, itsy-bitsy problem here. It's illegal. Federal safety rules do not accommodate cars or any vehicle for that matter that has no pedals, no steering wheel, not even any side mirrors. So that's kind of an issue here. Now, the national...
Okay, so that's the difference. Because I got another story later on that's actually going to come probably right after this. That there also are autonomous vehicles, but I guess because they have all those other things that it's not a big deal and they're not illegal. It's just what the fuck is you gonna do? By the way, if if it's your car, yeah, but if you in a ride share, you in a Lyft, even if they got a I've seen cats in Waymos. You know what I'm saying? If the Waymo get to chirping, all you can really do is what ask it to let you out or something, or talk to the app or something, or they could probably get a hold of the car autonomously. But I'm not finna get in the motherfucking driver's seat and try to drive this car that moves on its own by itself when it starts acting up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I guess, somebody could stop it and get in it and drive it. But if they could stop it, they could drive it through the app or through but it's kind of scary for me having a car that can be possibly hacked when it's just, I don't even have to weigh the pros and the cons. Like me being able to just like roll up or, ride around and not have to, worried about, it's going to get me where I'm going. You can take a nap while you driving, whatever. It sounds good, but it just sounds a little spooky to me. That's to me. I don't know.
Highway Traffic Safety Administration can issue exemptions to its safety rules, but under those rules, even if it does issue an exemption, that limits sales to 2,500 vehicles a year. And that's just a tad below CEO Elon Musk's plans for the Cybercab. He wants to sell 2 million of these things every single year, and he says the price is going to be below $30,000. I'll believe that when I see it. So the question now is, will there be an exemption? According to the Wall Street Journal, and again, we're already in production of these things, the journal says Tesla has not applied for an exemption, even though sales are around the corner. What does that suggest? Seems like Tesla is planning to test those safety rules in court.
Elon Musk is such a huge contractor to the federal government. There's a very real possibility that he gets to work around here.
Sure, and this is obviously an administration that has been fairly flexible when it comes to regulations. So we would have to see whether NHTSA, the safety people, would stick to their guns or whether they would just say, okay, fine, let's see how this all works out.
Which, I don't know. My thing is, let's say if you was a small business owner or whatever, you got a grant for like 150 bands. You spend 100 on because I'm imagining if they 30 or under 30, you can probably get 10 of them for double piece. You know what I mean? Or not 10 of them for double piece, but like, you probably get like 5 of them for 100. You became, a ride share driver. You got 5 vehicles that you can send out. I mean, that's some passive income for your ass right there. But that's my mind always goes to that. Y'all have to forgive me. The next story is basically about diesels that are driving around without pedals and shit. I mean, not pedals, without drivers. And I mean, 'cause there is a stupid dumbass shortage on drivers for CDL drivers, right? So, I mean, it makes sense for a company to come up with that, but with it being a shortage now, it's like that's probably one of the best jobs in the country to have. And if CDL drivers get pushed out because they automating drivers now, I think it's going to be a real problem. I think that's just me though. Could be wrong. But leave in the comments if you're a driver how you would feel if you were replaced by a truck that's driverless.
Any other truck until you peek inside. No one at the wheel as it barrels down the road. Massive freight trucks designed to drive all on their own.
We're talking about trucks that do not have any drivers doing operations on a daily basis across the nation.
Bada Narang is CEO of Gatik, the first company to employ driverless freight trucks on U.S. public roads with no human safety driver in the cab. They're already hauling freight for major grocery chains and retailers in Texas, Arkansas, and Arizona. The goal? To increase deliveries and lower costs.
You and I, as end consumers, we want our orders as soon as possible, as cheap as possible. So our trucks are working day and night.
You say these trucks make things cheaper and faster, but for someone driving in a car to look up and see a big truck like this with no one behind the wheel, how is that safe?
Safety is foundational to everything that we do at Gatik.
We first showed you the technology in 2021.
We've been practicing this little speech for hella long. Okay, but they tried it out with like a smaller truck first.
I'm here in Arkansas for an exclusive look when the company deployed smaller self-driving trucks for Walmart, capable of driving up to 10 miles per route.
They don't care shit about the people that live in Arkansas, basically. This is in 2021. But my thing is when it's big and the wind factors and a lot of other things change stuff. So are they able to mitigate those things without the driver being present?
Now, Gatik's trucks travel up to 400 miles, handling middle mile deliveries between warehouses and stores completely autonomously. To see for ourselves, we got an exclusive ride along with Apeksha Kamavat, Gatik's co-founder and chief engineer. Here we go. She says high-tech cameras and sensors give the truck a 360-degree view of its surroundings, guiding it safely through any situation on the road, day or night, rain or shine.
The truck sees all of that information in real time, creates an understanding of what
the world looks like right now, how it will evolve.
I watched as the truck navigated highways and heavy traffic.
Whoa, I gotta say, that was a pretty sudden stop.
It's driving a bit jerky, but Kamavat says it's designed for safety, not comfort.
So if someone had run that red light, we would have, even though we had a green light, this truck would know not to go.
Exactly.
After millions of testing miles, Gaddick says its trucks haven't had a single safety incident, something we confirmed with federal and state regulators. With 10 trucks now on the road and several hundred expected by year's end, the company says it's secured $600 million in contracts.
What about the very real concerns that this is taking away jobs from human truck drivers?
The reality is that in the US today, there is extreme driver shortage. What we are helping our customers with is we are helping them move goods across networks and routes that are hard to staff.
But the country's largest truck driver union disagrees.
These autonomous vehicle companies are investing billions of dollars to replace drivers so they can lower labor costs to increase the corporate profits.
The union also questions Gaddick's safety record, given that regulators rely on companies to self-report any incidents.
The corporations that want to implement this technology.
But yeah, I should have known that what's the name of that whatever the name is. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on their name, but what is the name of the biggest oh man, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I'm trying to think of it still. But unions, labor unions, that's the word I'm looking for, labor unions. And they're the name of Teamsters, there you go, the Teamsters. I should have known they was gonna have a problem. But there are another mode of transportation that is kind of coming up, and I seen this out here, supposed to be debuting here as one of the cities, which is kind of like, I don't know if that's common or not, but because it's so windy and everything, it's probably a good place to try out whether this will work. But apparently they're about to start releasing air taxis. So air taxis is kind of next level, because not even kind of, because it's nice to be able to go from one place to another place autonomously on the ground. I need you to leave a comment if you would allow an air taxi to take you to and fro. I don't know exactly how many miles above the ground they would be, but if it's a problem in the sky, that's a whole nother problem. That's not the same as the problem on the ground. And so yeah, let's look at that real quick to see what that looked like. I thought that was interesting. And then we'll get to the meat and potatoes of the show.
Right now, if you need a ride or lunch, you can call a rideshare service, but soon you'll be able to call an air taxi, a pilot program being tested right here in Oklahoma. Flying cars aren't as far off as you might think. What you're looking at are air taxis, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, part of a federal program testing the next generation of flight.
If we go back to, when I...
Ladies and gentlemen, so I saw this post that said...
Right now, if you need a ride or lunch, you can call a rideshare service, but soon you'll be able to call an air taxi, a pilot program being tested right here in Oklahoma. Flying cars aren't as far off as you might think.
What you're looking at are air taxis, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, part of a federal program testing the next generation of flight.
If we go back to, well, when I was a kid, the Jetsons, very similar concept.
California-based company Joby Aviation is part of a White House-backed program testing electric air taxis in 10 states. The taxis will be tested on transporting people, cargo, and medical care.
You could be looking at anything from a small unmanned aircraft delivering your pizza on a Friday night, or it could be delivering a piece of life-saving medicine to someone that's in distress.
Oklahoma Department of Aerospace.
You getting in something that got no pilot at all with your life? Well, they got to be involved probably for a couple years, but I'll fuck around with something like that.
Aeronautics say the state is a perfect testing ground with its wide open airspace, rural areas, diverse weather, and the FAA Academy in OKC.
One of the things that's so exciting about this program and working in Oklahoma City is because of the rich aviation ecosystem that
Your head to shoulders ratio is fucked up. What? Where the fuck is your shoulders at, sir? You got a hella head with no shoulders.
exists there. We're going to be able to test out things like integrating into the airspace, working with air traffic control.
This is just another great forward step for Oklahoma, being able to be partners on some of these selected EIPP test sites. Just goes along with that lineage and that heritage of being a forward-leaning aviation state.
Joby Aviation says operations could start as early as this year. In OKC, Kylie Thomas, KO.
The shit look clean. It looked really nice. I'm not gonna lie. But I'll have to see it being done for years before I get involved. But the thing that and that's pretty much gonna do it for Is That Right? The next thing I want to start with is the segment I like to call Celebrity Spotlight. And it took me a minute to figure out. Oh no. It took me a minute to figure out like whether I should put this in Is That Right or Celebrity Spotlight. I'm gonna kick off Celebrity Spotlight with this piece right here first. And let y'all tell me what y'all think about this, man. Cause it's kind of scary knowing that this is going on out here and nobody really tripping. Nobody's really tripping off the fact that this individual, similar as he is to who we about to talk about, and ain't nothing really happened. This video at right, this is the right spot. I had it, but it be moving with the cursor sometimes. So I was like, oh no. Anyway, so yeah, man, motherfucking dude look just like Jeffrey Epstein. If he say he not Jeffrey Epstein, I don't believe the shit. But this dude, I'm gonna let y'all see what I'm talking about first, and then we'll talk about it. Now, this is on MREC TV's platform. Shout out to MREC TV. Bro, been doing this thing.
Epstein is alive. Epstein is alive. Epstein is alive.
Y'all see that?
Epstein is alive. Epstein is alive.
All right. So we got that, right? Now that came out like maybe a week ago, maybe like 4 or 5 days.
Dude got another little clip where he addressed, the people, I guess, or the backlash about him looking like Jeffrey Epstein and shit. I'm gonna go right to that part. without further ado, let's go.
Salute to the Rec Mall. We here. So now he wants to talk now because the shit went super viral. Let's go. Run the lights up.
I was blowing up with all these comments from that video. So I got a lot of traction. It's pretty crazy. Thanks.
So you're not Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete. Hey everybody, this is Palm Beach Pete. And my video went viral because some dude randomly filmed me while I was driving on I-95, unbeknownst to me.
Boy, shut the fuck up. That nigga look just like Jeffrey, man. Jeffrey, what the fuck is you doing, bro, with a doppelganger? And why didn't you just have this motherfucker trade places with you in the P now if you really, like, I really feel like Jeffrey is a lot, but you bold as fuck if you didn't came back to life, riding around in Florida, top down with Jeffrey Epstein's face on your face, bro. You ain't even concerned about that shit at all. Man, damn.
And the next thing I know, I'm a viral sensation. I had my phone down for about 4 hours and I didn't know my phone was blowing up with all these comments from that video. So I got a lot of traction. It's pretty crazy. Thanks.
Hey, bro, that shit is, like I said, bro, motherfuckers that came out eating kids and a whole bunch of the shit. You just out gallivanting around. You don't have no care in the world about people seeing you and, you know, smashing on you, bro, randomly. I don't know. Police ain't fucking with you now. I don't know. Brendan, hey, you heard it here. I don't know. It's probably not at first, but you heard it here. That you know, Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. That was to me that looked like fingerprinting. But if you know, bro, playing with the kind of money I think he playing with, you know, if I get a whole new set of fingerprints, why not get some facial reconstruction surgery or something? If you're gonna be, I don't know, bro. You boy. Anyway, that's that. Okay. Next thing I got is I don't really this UFO thing keep coming up. And I've been trying to kind of, you know, but we can't really keep denying certain shit. So the security guard I know at CC is on the podcast with a couple of guys that be doing podcasting with Cameron. I guess they got some alien podcasts. And they talking about, I guess, the fact that this airplane that a couple of basketball players, like a charter plane for the, I forget what team it is, bumped into a damn UFO in the middle of the airspace and shit. So let's look at that right quick because that's interesting. And again, I want y'all to tell me what y'all think in the comments. This is kind of a longer episode. It's damn near a double episode because you know, it took so much time for me to get one done. A lot of stuff I want to talk about kind of aged out.
And certain players asked me directly, what could we have collided with at 30,000 feet? The damage on the plane is prominent, and it's the Sphere Network. And the Sphere Network has the spheres, and then it has the cubes inside of the spheres. And I also sent in a video, sent to you, and I put it in the group chat, a video from a pilot who captured the exact object that hit the plane.
We got it in the queue right now. Because we're gonna get this interesting subject right here. Go ahead.
February 2020, an Airbus A320 is on a routine flight soaring over Medellin, Colombia. Little does the captain know he's about to find out he's sharing the friendly skies.
The
pilot does us the favor of showing his altimeter, and we can see that he's flying around 30,000 feet in altitude.
That's the number 30,000
The
feet
pilot then
again.
points
That's
his
the
camera
number.
phone out of the cockpit window and watch this as he zooms in.
This little thing moving, the little
A metallic-looking object, a polyhedron of some sort, whizzes by in a straight line.
Dang.
We slow it down and zoom in further. You can see it kind of looks like a cube.
It has these kind of little points that stick out. It does seem to be darker in color and not like a bright, shining balloon. Whatever this is, it definitely shouldn't be there.
One theory is that if we were visited by another civilization, they might send probes ahead of when they actually come.
Yeah, because
Is there something in there? Is there like a being in there?
So when we just seen Tim Burchett say the pilot seen a craft 14 feet outside of his window, that's what he saw. Now, I don't believe that that has a being inside of it, but it could. But it's under intelligent control. Because I sent in some more. I sent in a video where it shows the tweets from some of the players from this time period it happened. And the questions they were asking me could it be a bird? I said, bro, there's no way. It's no way a bird is going to be flying at 30,000 feet. That if it collided with a plane, that it can cause the amount of damage that it caused. So in the other video I sent, it shows the damage. It shows the tweets from the players. And this is something that shows how real of a phenomenon this is. Now, I had to get permission to even speak about this, and they told me to go for it. You feel me? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say and agree with the lady there saying it could be a probe because, they trick everybody with the word alien because alien means from someplace else.
I know.
But if something has been here long before human beings have been here, and if you call it alien, then yeah, it could be aliens. That's going to limit the amount of information that research is going to be done. But if it's an ultra-terrestrial, look at this damage right here.
That shit. Are you seeing that damage?
No, this is on Carmelo's plane.
Carmelo, we gotta respect. You got your podcast.
Look at that shit. That ain't no. That's some crazy ass damage, bro. And that's all I really wanted y'all to see. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, nah. That. What the fuck do you say to that? I mean, that does not necessarily mean that there are aliens, but it definitely, you can't say that it ain't other shit going on. Like, leave in the comments if you knew that there was aliens, would you still believe in God? I want to know. Leave it in the comments. But that's that, and it's kind of, I don't know. The transition from that to what I'm going to next is kind of funny, but the last thing I got is like, whoa. Beyonce knows mama got a restaurant out there in Houston. I guess he's selling people out there tainted gumbo, allegedly, and got her shit shut down. So I don't know what's going on with that. But Ray J went on a rant because of what's going on with I guess the comments that was said on It Is What It Is. And it was some stuff, I think, maybe can I go to the beginning, man? I'm going to go to the beginning right quick and see if they going to get what was said to set him off. But, because he don't really hear all of it. But yeah, Ray J said some crazy ass shit that should have never been said, but I don't know what the fuck going on with this brother, man. He said something crazy. I really only want to hear what he said, but I'm gonna let y'all hear the rest of the shit first, and then we got a couple more things and we out of here, man.
And everything. Let's just do it.
Yeah, that ain't funny, Mace.
Yo, it ain't funny. I don't give a fuck. Y'all niggas. How about that? I'm about to talk shit about these niggas though, because one thing niggas ain't gonna do is talk about my sister without me going back on these big head ass.
Set off.
Yeah.
What happened with Brandy and everything? Let's just do it.
Listen,
let's do it. We dealing with Brandy.
Okay, let me switch my glasses.
You was dating Brandy at one time, or y'all was just, how'd it go?
I was special, you know. He came in and wanted to be special. So,
yo,
yeah,
he was Shaq.
Okay.
He was the champion. He was the MVP.
Right.
I was Kobe, no pun intended, because they said Kobe was a special friend of Brandy's as well.
Right.
But no pun intended.
Right.
But I was coming out of high school on the championship team. And he was the superstar of the team.
Right.
But I definitely did want to be special. I definitely, but I had no idea. So what happened is we had a mutual friend who was a snitch.
Okay.
So I'm not. I think he know who it is.
Right.
I'm not gonna expose him.
Right.
But so I was so excited because this is my dream person.
Right. Talk about Brandy.
Brandy, I'm a poor kid, Brooklyn, watching MTV, watching Moesha, watching her on BET, and as a dream, I'm like, man, if she was to know shine, I got that. So when I came up,
put him in the
she was
game.
in the crosshairs, like I was sniping.
Right.
And I had no idea though, because he was special.
Right.
So he was running that playbook so discreetly, so quietly, I had no idea.
Now let's go.
So that wasn't even that bad, but I mean, yeah, you know what they insinuating and they're saying
Hey,
we
yo,
want to be special too. So.
Real attractive, though, Nut. Yeah.
Let me see. What? Don't you niggas get found with y'all? You know where they be at? They be at the Wynn Hotel in Vegas, blah, and slipping. Don't let them get caught with their skirt down. They looking real attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all looking real good. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, yo, they're looking real attractive, though, Nut. Yeah. on the dead homies, bro. Y'all is looking, I'm not taking no, I'm taking you. This nigga said it's Harvey. I can provide up to $500,000 with the lower cost and long terms. Man, look, I don't give a how much I owe this person or all that, man. Stop trying to give me a goddamn loan. You're gonna get the loan. I got the $500,000. And y'all want Ace and Shine. Y'all is looking real attractive.
Get to the other part.
I got you in the bathroom, bent over, making love to you.
What?
The clowns.
Bro, trying to go viral. So
Shay said, okay, Ray, that's enough. You think I give a... Nah, them niggas, bro. Why? Because I can say it and I can do it. And I guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee you, because what I do want is niggas to respond. But I guarantee you they won't respond. They not responders. They not first responders. These is hoes, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not over here talking about a bunch of niggas playing basketball all day. I'm talking about 3 hoes. 3 little pig.
best estimate of game shit I ever heard. I'm not even pulling up on it like I want to right now. I really got to kind of tighten this up, but yeah, it's y'all have to go check it out. He crashed all the way out. It's ridiculous over his sister doing whatever she was doing when she was doing what she was doing. They talking about it. She responded to, I guess I ain't looking to all that. I just thought it was shocking how far people would go to be viral, how much they would say and do. And don't do that, which, I mean, again, I got some things for worldview. Some of it might take a little longer than I needed to take. So one thing I wanted to make sure I get out It's two things actually. One, Netanyahu apparently ain't dead. So that's been a rumor that's been going around since the conflict got to a certain point. So we'll play that first. And then there's one more thing, you know, that I think is also important.
Minister just wrapped up a news conference, his first in-person news conference during this war with Iran. He began by dismissing what he called the fake news that he's not alive.
I'm alive, and you're all witnesses.
And then I had an opportunity to ask the Prime Minister a few questions. I asked him, first of all, about his strategy of assassinating senior Iranian leaders and questions about whether it's not leading to a more hardline regime.
I think this is part of the effort to crack the regime. It's not going to happen in one day. We're 20 days into
Are you seeing cracks?
Yes, we're seeing cracks. We're
You
seeing
know, I
cracks.
like them over.
And we're trying to propagate them as fast as we can.
I also asked him about this new commitment that he's apparently made to President Trump, that he will no longer strike oil and natural gas facilities in Iran.
That's all I really needed y'all to see. The nigga alive. Apparently he alive. They've been showing AI videos of him instead of him going to places, meetings and shit, and it's been crazy. But this is the thing that I think is crazier than all of that, actually, is the fact that they talking about taking the world. I think the UN is taking Europe or somebody to court for reparations for the whole world. I mean, for all of us, all of the diaspora, which is probably what they don't want, or they didn't want us to get reparations in the first place to start this argument. But it's apparently it started already anyway. So here we go. Oh wow! Oh, so it's the password. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, man, I think they said Ghana is the one bringing those charges up, man. So that's well, I didn't share my screen while I was doing that. Are you serious? Is that why I can? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I heard it right.
international resolution that could label the transatlantic slave trade as the greatest crime against humanity in history, and they are preparing to put Britain's role directly under the spotlight. Ghana is expected to introduce the resolution at the United Nations later this month on behalf of the African Union. This proposal seeks formal recognition of the European-led transatlantic slave trade as a historic crime of unprecedented scale, pointing to its vast human toll and its long-lasting economic and social consequences. According to the UN, the transatlantic slave trade lasted over 4 centuries. Around 15 million Africans, including men, women, and children, were forcibly transported across the Atlantic, with the largest number sent to Brazil and other parts of the Americas. African leaders say that the scale, duration.
So that's I meant to show that to y'all. I hope y'all heard it all, but they talking a good game. I don't know if they're gonna get that done actually. Last two things is that's all I got for worldview, but there's another thing, there's another last two things. The segment I like to call Don't Be a Weirdo. Now today's segment of Don't Be a Weirdo, we got a dude that's in high school that was arrested for trying to allegedly raping a panhandler. Let's get into that real quick. This is ridiculous.
Ballard County High School students in jail tonight accused of raping a panhandler.
West 2's Gail Pascal Brown is live in studio to tell us what Orange County Sheriff investigators have uncovered. Gail.
According to the arrest report, the teenager is not only accused of rape, but also fighting with the female inside and out of the car. Now, prior to the sexual battery call, deputies also got a call about a stolen car involving the suspect. 18-year-old Jamarcus Giscombe is in jail facing charges of false imprisonment, sexual battery with
Jamarcus. Brother, I regret to give you our Weirdo of the Week award. It don't even seem like they got it proved all the way, but because you're being accused of and you are being arrested for, I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty, but this don't look good, bro. So you got it. What are you even doing? Looking like trying to almost maybe kind of about to rape a bitch that you a panhandler, bitch.
the deadly weapon, physical force, and aggravated battery. Orange County Sheriff's deputies arrested the Brevard County High School student March 6th. The arrest report says a female was panhandling in the median in front of Circle K, located on North Goldenrod Road in Orlando, when Giscombe allegedly picked her up. The arrest report says he told her she was going to perform a sex act on him. She said no. He began to hit her multiple times. She tried to exit the vehicle, then ran to the Wawa, completely nude, and asked for someone to call 911.
So he done already started. And either he paid or didn't pay enough, or he didn't pay, and he's trying to steal some box.
The victim also described that the steering wheel had a pink fuzzy steering wheel cover on it. Prior to the sexual battery call, deputies got another call in reference to
he in his female car trying to steal some pussy from another bride.
A stolen and recovered car behind the Colony's condos on North Goldenrod Road in Winter Park.
All I heard was a big boom. So I peeked out my window and I seen somebody pulling off. They hit the white car and then they made a left. And when they made the left, I said, "What's going on?" I didn't know. And then he swerved off, and then I looked, and then I seen all these women and all these kids come out screaming, "He stole my car."
Orange County Sheriff's deputies found the stolen car a little over a mile from the Nissan dealership where the sexual battery happened. Investigators say based on the blood inside of the car and the distinctive pink fuzzy steering wheel cover, they suspected that Jamarcus Giscombe is the driver of the stolen 2011 blue Chevrolet Cruze and possibly the suspect related to the sexual battery. Jamarcus told investigators that he met the alleged victim while he was stopped at a red light and she was panhandling and asked him if he wanted to engage in a sex act.
Jamarcus Giscombe is in the Orange County Jail under a $12,500 bond for false imprisonment, grand theft, and aggravated battery. He was given no bond for the sexual battery charge. Back to
Channel 10 Geek Gal off television. Go on there, give her a little savage package and sit her down. She do not need to be on television no more. I'm sorry. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't think nobody want to see it. But that's all I got for who got. Don't be a weirdo. And the last segment, of course, is who got active. And I'm gonna just let them tell you this ROTC student is amazing. You know. Let's go.
Shaw was teaching his class in the ROTC program yesterday. When witnesses say Mohammed Jallow walked in, asked if this was ROTC before shouting Alu Akbar and aimed his weapon at Shaw, who was instructing the class. Dr. Brian Hemphill, Old Dominion's president, this morning released a video statement saying the shooting has forever changed ODU's campus community.
The life of one of our beloved monarchs was taken far too soon, and 2 students were wounded. And I express my deepest condolences to the victims, their families, our campus, and our community.
NBC News has learned the ROTC students were able to fight back against the suspect. And according to senior law enforcement sources, one of the students was able to stab Jallow. ODU's president noted the students' bravery.
Those present in the class also saved lives with their bravery and courage in taking down the shooter.
One of those ROTC students was a senior from our area. Pastor Jermaine Bago says he spoke with his son in the minutes after the shooting.
My son is very, he was very distraught and nervous. You can hear it in his voice, but he wanted to let me and his mother know that he was okay.
We're getting quite a few calls in from ODU advising of an active shooter at this time. At this time, we're advised that a female has been shot. At this time, looks like the shooter.
So, bro, took an active shooter down with a motherfucking knife. I don't think they're gonna show him because he's young, but that's all I got for R&R this week, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all are entertained. That's been all for today. I'll see y'all next time. This has been Jamerson Ballard signing off. Have a wonderful weekend.